Platinum Loco, in one of your videos you speak very harshly about Muammar Gadaffi, president of Libya, and I wanted to ask you a few questions about him. First of all, why do you dislike him so much? And why do you call him Dr. Evil in your video? And what is the connection between him and the Illuminati? And the last question is, do you think he will step down? And if he does step down, do you think it's going to be as bad as what happened in Iraq? Thank you.
Okay, to answer your question, my beef with Gaddafi is that he lets his people suffer. He arms his supporters, tells them to fire on the opposition. And that was my beef with Mubarak, except for he does it worse. He has secret executions of Nigerians with unfair trial. The guys were on death row. They really had to dig it up to figure out what was going on. And because they were covering it up, and they were not getting fair trials, and they're shipping them off, 14 of them shipping them off to be executed. The reason why I call him Dr. Evil is because he does evil things. He has an evil look in his eye, evil way about him, an evil aura, an evil energy. His son Hannibal beat up his wife, who used to be, 4 years before she was even his wife, he beat her up and she called the cops on him. And later she marries him. He beats her up again, she calls the cops on him again. And later on together they beat up some staff. And he drives drunk with his Porsche, and he's very violent, just like father, just like son, complete with mini-me and all. It came out that the ex-prime minister, Mustafa Abdel-Jalil, I believe, he told the Swedish paper that Gaddafi ordered the Lockerbie bombings and that he has proof. And Gaddafi, obviously, he let the two bombers, two of the plotters, seek refuge. And they had blown up Pan Am Flight 103 over the Scottish town of Lockerbie in December 21, 1988. Mostly Americans died. So this is why I call him a terrorist. This is why I call him Dr. Evil. And he had an adopted daughter named Hannah, which he used as a political sacrificial lamb to try to make him look a little bit better. The only good person in his family was adopted. And we go on to the Illuminati, and also one of his daughters helps defend Saddam Hussein, and they fund all kinds of terrorist movements. Okay, and that goes on to your next question about the Illuminati. Okay, he owns 7.5% in the Italian bank Unicredit, which is Italy's largest bank. He amassed a $60 billion fortune, him and his family. They funded the Black September movement. He had a public ceremony in Benghazi where, in front of 200 kings, he said, "I am the king of kings," kings from all over Africa, and he says he is the king of kings. At the Arab League summit, he does it again. He funded the IRA, the Spanish Basque Separatist movement, the ETA. He suppresses opponents using torture, uses guerrilla by night instead of soldiers by day, like JFK said. He has the Amazonian Guard, a bunch of crazy female women. This is secret society ideology. In the Lockerbie trial, a double agent exposed him as being a Freemason. He works with Blair and Shell. Remember Shell, the rising sun? It's really a rising sun, not a shell. And they had a 325 million euro deal for the for natural gas on the Libyan coast. Okay, and the fourth question: do I think he's going to step down? No, I don't believe he's going to step down. Just like his son came out on TV, said they're not. Last reports I heard is more arming. And do I believe if he does, will it be like Iraq? That is a good question. I don't see it turning into another Iraq, no. Because Iraq is slightly more complicated. It is very similar, yes. But I see it turning into a conflict that won't last as long as Iraq. That a solution will be made. Okay? What we need to worry about is whether a puppet dictator will be put there. So no, he won't be set down. Solution will come in a reasonable amount of time after some violence. And the worry is about who comes next. What is the intentions of the next ruler? Thank you for your questions.